Hi Pete, it's Chris from California, and I just wanted to say a couple of things about the video you just talked about. Um, I think one of the key reasons why the battle between theists and atheists is kind of concerned with science is because it deals with facts and you can argue facts. You really can't argue a person's feelings or stuff like that, but you can say, like, okay, God doesn't exist or God does exist. Now we're not arguing about how a person feels, we're talking about something that's a little more tangible. I think that's probably the key reason why the argument goes to science, because eventually what is, I think, the actual bone of the contention is the existence or non-existence of specific entities, gods. I think that it's important, too, that I would like to see atheists talk about non-religious stuff, like ethics and aesthetics, and this is the sticky point, I think, politics and economics. As I think we all know, religious people, generally speaking, do have both political and economic systems that they prefer, claiming that it's part of their religion. So here in America, for instance, almost all fundamentalist Christians vote Republican, right? It's like their thing. And I think that's true pretty much everywhere in the world. So, like in India, you'll have like the BJP, which is where all the fundamentalist Hindus vote. But you also kind of mentioned we need to take in mind the God and how people feel about it. But I think that's important to remember why most people do believe in God, right? And I think, unfortunately, it is, and this is actually from like philosophers like Maimonides, Spinoza, those guys, an interpretation. They didn't say this, but they said the reason why we believe in whatever religion we believe is usually because our parents believed it and they taught it to us. I think that, however, the teaching of that religion constitutes child abuse. What they're doing is they're taking a young, impressionable person and they're saying, look, obey, obey, or you're going to go to hell. You're going to burn forever in a lake of fire. That's kind of one of the things they say. Or they'll say, like, obey, or you'll be reincarnated, as a scum of the earth, as a slave or as a worm or something like that. And so, yeah, it's an emotion that they feel, but it's set in place through, kind of threats and intimidation. That's the way it actually happens in almost all cases, is that people are given this tremendous anxiety about their life and what they do in the form of like these imaginary, brutal punishments. And if you were to do that I were to do that, if I were to come home every day and say to my kid as an atheist, obey me, or I'm going to chop you into little pieces and burn you in oil, and you're going to suffer forever, you're going to be in a burn ward, and no one's going to love you, I would have my kid taken away from me, and they'd be right. So that's what I wanted to say. And as always, nice talking to you. Hope to see you later on. Bye-bye.